Kraken is a Adelaide-based bat company, which is just in its formative stages. The owner, Michael, approached me, asked me if I could knock in his personal bat for next season. So he's actually had these made in this limited edition oversized cleft, which you can see here. This thing is massive, and it doesn't weigh too much either. The thing I like about this is that he's actually a bat tragic like most of you. So he's got a real job, and this is just a part-time thing, but he's put a lot of effort into getting the bat designed correctly. I mean, you can see here the quality of the stickers. These stickers are made in the UK, and you can see here they've got lovely embossing. And Kraken is obviously the giant squid from Greek mythology. The squid there. There's also one of these authenticity things here with a hologram, which is actually a separate sticker that goes on. So you've got a holographic effect there. He's even gone and bought the electric stamper and the copper plate to do his own stamping, and he's done a really good job. Look at the quality of that stamp. It's on both sides. Attention to detail, you've got to give it to him. For doing that. That's obviously the bat that's factory made. So this particular one is made in India, but in the future the plan is for the limited editions, get that in shot, to actually be made here in Adelaide. I don't know what the pricing is, so for now we'll just concentrate on the specifications and have a look at the bat itself. So what you've got here is a bat with a massive mid edge that's sort of about there to there is 50 millimeters. Absolutely massive on both sides, and because that's so even through there, right in your hitting area around here, it's just going to be absolutely pinging. But the other interesting aspect of this is the way the spine has actually been brought down to a low to mid-low position and peaked there at 74 centimeters. It's very much offset from where the edge peaks. So you've got a 25 millimeter toe right at the base, but I mean, quite frankly, that just draws up almost immediately into a duckbill. So right about here, a lot of wood, just an inch off the bottom. I wouldn't expect in that area of the bat you're going to get a lot of action, but certainly from here upwards the bat will be pinging. And then it comes all the way up, and you probably find, like most bats, about this point here it will start to peter off, even though it's got quite a large amount of wood still left in the bat. Even as high as up here you've got 43 millimeters, and I'll just show you that edge. That's 50. The shoulders are 15. And there's actually quite a lot of wood still left up here in the splice. So when you look down the back of the bat, you probably haven't got a lot of concave. It's probably 3 mil of concave. A little bit higher there. The width of the bat is 108 millimeters, so there's nothing going on there as far as narrowing it to improve the weight. On the back of the bat here it says 212. The handle itself, it's a 3 rubber handle with good quality binding, taking it all the way down. Handle shape. So the handle shape is definitely more oval than semi-oval bottom hand to a slightly oval top hand. So it actually feels quite good in the hand. It's not too big, even though it's only got one grip on. Balance of the bat, we can have a look at that. I'd say it's much lower down in the bottom of the bat, so we'll just have a look at that. So that's 54 centimeters to the top of the handle, where somebody like me is about 50. So if I had to use this, I'd probably put an extra grip on it. In my hands, it definitely doesn't feel like a 2.8 or a 2.9, 212.6, which is really staggering for the size of it. Now, as far as the grain structure, you can see here, toe guard on, we can't really get a read on how the actual grains are going, but it looks as though they're going on a slight slant, and that's why you get this sort of effect going on the side of the bat. It's a really nice looking blade, slight little bit of the end of a pin knot that's been sanded out, got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 grains, perfectly straight. And we said that we've got that angle which we've shown through the toe, and yeah, really nice. Now Michael has actually elected when we do the toe to allow me to take this off, and it just depends on whether or not I can get this off or not. If it's fairly easy to remove, then and it is, then it's coming off anyway. So I'll be doing the shugu toe on this one, and because I can just almost peel that off with my fingers. So artificial nets will just strip that away. But I imagine this is going to ping really well, but let's get a read on what the press is like anyway. Alright, we'll tap this up from the toe. So just that sheer amount of wood, I mean, it's going here, going crazy in that mid position, mid-low with that spine peaks, it's going really well, and as it draws down into the duckbill, it starts to run out. The press itself feels on the slightly firmer side, so yeah, next time you see it will be the post knock. Alright, we've finished the knocking of the Kraken Limited Edition, and it's an absolute beast. So I've given this a good knock and a polish, and I've actually had to borrow some scuff from Michael, the owner of Kraken, just to get the review done and give it back to him, because I've just got a backlog of bats to clear out, and I'm still waiting on some scuff to come from the UK. So this is not the normal quality scuff I would use. I'll just give you a quick comparison of the different scuff sheets. So that's what I've had to borrow. That's the old 3M I used to use, and that's what I've been using more recently. This is the UK scuff, which I'm finally getting a lot of coming in, but I'm just taking its time. So the difference is, this is more of a protection type film, which the big difference in these, if I can open this one up, so this is the one that's on the bat now, is just the elasticity. Can you see how that just stretches like that? So when I stretch it, it doesn't have any give, it just does that. The 3M that I used to have and use was a bit thicker and heavier, so that's the 3M there. It's a lot thicker, a little bit harder to pull, but it doesn't have any elasticity either. And this is the one I'm waiting on. This is the difference with the UK scuff, okay? Can you see that? See the elasticity, how it goes back into shape? It doesn't matter how much I pull on it. Stretches a little bit, but it comes back. Now that's the self-healing properties of that, and that's why it's the better scuff than all those things. So it's less likely to crack, which it would be the property of the 3M scuff. So you saw that just break as I pulled it apart. This one that's on the bat is just likely to stretch. So we've got edge tape over the top of it here, but the UK scuff that I normally use, but I've run out of, unfortunately, yeah, that's the difference. So yeah, that's a little bit of a thing on scuff sheets, and for a while I did try to find an effective substitute, but I didn't. Anyway, let's get back to the bat. So we've put this protection film on, and we've done a shugu toe on it, as you can see there. So that's with the new method, with the oiling and the varnish and then the shugu. And we've rolled those edges all the way. Stunning bat. So this is a really nice bat. I think we weighed it in at about 212.7 or something like that. I'll confirm that. But let's see what it weighs now, oiled and scuffed. So 213.1, so it's put on 0.4 with the shugu toe and I put the longer scuff on because he gave me a long sheet, so I used as much of it as I normally would. So let's give it a tap up and hear what it sounds like. Listen to that deep sound. Now I hope what you're hearing is that higher pitched crack at the beginning. And that's the hardness of the surface that we've added by knocking it in. So it's still pinging, but it's going to now be almost ready to play. I always say that the bat still needs a few nets, and nothing changes with this. So yeah, really nice bat. 213.1 and feels in my hands I think 211. Alright, let's turn the camera around and we'll finish the review with the ball bounce. So as usual, I'm going to start with the really old 4-piece. As you can see, this is a real crappy ball. Let's bounce it. The Dukes. Well, I think that's the end of the ball test. I've just knocked the thing under the tool bench. So let's have a look if we've got any dents in the bat, and she's come up fine. Just some dents in the scuff sheet. So as you saw there, it's a powerhouse. Last of the big edge bats. Pretty soon the bat suppliers won't be able to get these big clefts. There's plus and minuses to it. I mean, obviously the plus is that you'll be able to get legal bats since the rules have changed. The minus is it won't satisfy your ego. Kraken limited edition, Adelaide brand. Very nice. Kraken LE.